Hi, this is Sarah from All Things with Purpose, and I'm going to share with you a quick summary of what we do to sell our flipped RVs on Facebook Marketplace. So beforehand, we kind of assess, before purchasing our trailer or RV project, we want to look at it and say, how much is this project going to take to fix up and get to where we want it to be? How high do we think we can list it? So we kind of do a little bit of that beforehand, but when it comes time to actually pricing it and listing it on Facebook Marketplace, do your research, see what a trailer or motorhome in the style that you have, see what it's going for locally and nationally. It's hard to tell because those aren't necessarily going to be renovated and fixed up like the one you're selling is going to be. So you're kind of in a whole different market. There's the challenge of all the emotional connections with the one you are trying to sell. I get it. It's a whole thing. You have poured your heart into this project, and it's going to be a mind game trying to sell it and hoping that the next person that buys is going to appreciate it as much as you do, and that they're going to even understand the amount of work that went into getting it to look this way. Chances are they're really not, but there's enough people out there that don't want to do what you just did. So that is what you have going for you. There are plenty of people that are not DIYers, that have no interest in cleaning dead mice and mold out of an old trailer, but they love the idea of something old being renovated, and they love the idea of a personalized, a modern, trendy looking RV that's going to be different than a brand new one that they can get off the lot with no character, right? So you have that going for you, major points when it comes to pricing it. But it also makes pricing challenging because it's hard to put a price tag on all that work you've done. So I always like to, at a base level, find out what they're going for without being renovated, if everything's in working order, a similar age to what you are selling, and then consider how much money you put into it. Maybe you want to put a price tag on the hours of work, or do a search for other renovated campers and kind of price it in comparison to those. Don't price it too high. You want to find a sweet spot, and I always like to consider, what would I want to walk away with? What price would I be happy with making off of all of this? And then that's my bottom line price. I set it a little higher than that, but I know that's the bottom line. I'm not going to go any lower than whatever that number is in my head, in light of all the work that I have done. If you feel like you've priced it too high, immediately just delete it and start over again. Once it's been listed for 4 or 5 days, if you go to lower the price, all the people that have been interested in it in the meantime are going to be notified. And hopefully that has happened. You're going to list it, and hopefully you instantly start getting feedback. You're going to have people sharing your listing and commenting and messaging and telling you how beautiful it is, what a great job you did, which is super encouraging. But ultimately you want a serious buyer. So all that to drum up attention and give your post hopefully a boost. Facebook's going to realize this is good stuff. All these people are interacting with it. They're going to hopefully share it with more people. If you want to break outside of your local area and try to target a wider range audience, you might want to consider boosting it and paying for Facebook to share that with more people. But in the meantime, if you've drummed up all this interest, wait several days. I say 4 or 5. Lower it just by a couple $100. All those people are going to get notified. Some of them may be on the fence. Maybe some of them have taken that time to seriously consider it and maybe even get some of their finances in order. And by getting notified that you've lowered it a couple $100, it might be just what they need to become a serious buyer. Include lots of details in your listing, as many details as you can, especially mileage if you're talking about a motorhome. Weight is a big thing. Do not leave off the weight on a trailer. Please have your title in order. Have a bill of sale ready. Want to have your buyer fill out when you go to finalize your sale. Do accept cash or a cashier's check. I would say also know your key terms to include in your listing. What people are looking for. They're looking for a bunkhouse, a Class C, a Class A, a rear living, all those things. Try to keep things operational when you're selling it. Have things plugged in so that the fridge is cold and they can see that everything works. Also, really quick, if you I believe in my experience, anything listed under $10,000 is going to be a quicker sale because you're dealing with people that probably have money in order. Maybe they're just starting off and they're new to camping, but they've set some money aside and they are ready to buy. Anything above that, I believe, is kind of the threshold where you're dealing with people that are probably going to have to finance this. And so it's going to take a little while, and it's a bigger decision. It's a bigger purchase. It's probably going to take a little while to sell if you are pricing it any higher than that, in my experience. So especially getting up into, if you've fixed up a fifth wheel or a Class A that's newer in age and it's worth more, just know it's going to be a little not necessarily harder to sell, because there's a lot of people with the bigger RVs and fifth wheels that maybe are looking to go to tiny home living, and they're looking for something to live in full time. So they've given this some serious thought, and maybe they have their finances in order, but you also have people that maybe still need to get financing through their bank. It's just a bigger decision in general, and you can expect that it's going to take a little longer the higher you've priced it. So just keep that in mind and don't lose heart. Stick it out. If it's getting close to winter time and you feel like the season might be slowing down just a bit, consider taking it off the market and storing it in a safe place where it can remain in good condition until the spring and relist it then. In my experience, the market for RV sales doesn't really slow down. People do buy and sell year round, but there's a slight dip, I think, in interest come winter. So you might want to take that into consideration since we are getting close to winter. But I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you have any other questions. I realize it's a lot of info, and I'm going to be writing about this as well and including some of these resources on my blog. So please stop by allthingswithpurpose.com. Thanks.